everybody. Thank you very much for joining Sir Patrick and Jonathan Van Tam in London and me here in isolation in Buckinghamshire. Today, we've reached the fourth step on our roadmap. And I know that with cases increasing steadily and with more and more people being asked to self-isolate, there will, of course, be those who would rather that we'd waited weeks or months longer and kept on social distancing and all the legal restrictions that we've been placing on our lives. And so I want to remind you all why I believe that it's right to take this step now, no matter how difficult it seems. And the logic remains the same. That if we don't open up now, then we face a risk of even tougher conditions in the colder months, when the virus has a natural advantage, and we lose that firebreak of the school holidays. And there comes a point after so many have been vaccinated, when further restrictions no longer prevent hospitalizations and deaths, but simply delay the inevitable. And so we have to ask ourselves the question, if not now, when? And though both deaths and hospitalizations, as I say, are sadly rising, these numbers are well within the margins of what our scientists predicted at the outset of the roadmap. And so it is right to proceed cautiously in the way that we are, but it's also right to recognize that this pandemic is far from over. And that's why I'm afraid it is essential to keep up the system of test, trace, and isolate. And I know how frustrating it is for all those who have been affected or pinged, and I want to explain, therefore, that people identified as contacts of cases are at least 5 times more likely to be infected than others. And even if they've been vaccinated, there is a significant risk that they can still pass the disease on. And so, as we go forward, I'm afraid that the continuing sacrifice of this large minority, those of us who are being asked to isolate, remains important to allow the rest of society to get back to something like normality. And I'm afraid that at this stage, it's simply a consequence of living with COVID and of opening up when cases are high in the way that we are. As you know, we'll be moving on August the 16th to a system of testing rather than isolation for those who are double vaccinated, by which time, of course, we hope that the wall of immunity in our country will be even higher. And in the meantime, I want to assure you that we will protect crucial services, including the staffing of our hospitals and our care homes, the supplies of food, water, electricity and medicines, the running of our trains, the protection of our borders, the defence of our realm, by making sure that a small number, a very small number of named, fully vaccinated critical workers are able to leave their isolation solely for the work that I have described. But for the vast majority of us, myself included, we do need to stick with the system for now. And of course, the only reason that we're able to open up in this way at all is that we've vaccinated such a large proportion of the population and at such speed.